Hey everybody, how you doing? I know it's been a while since I've made an actual video with some lengthy content. Not that anyone cares. No. Today I want to talk about the Season of the Deep. Not only do I want to talk about it, I want to make some predictions, bounce some ideas, maybe get some, back feed. So, where do you want to start? You want to start dungeon? Do you want to start storyline, weaponry? I say we start at the story. So, we already know that we're going back to Titan. But from previous experience with Bungie, we're not getting Titan back. We're not getting something we already paid for, because then they're losing money somehow. They already took that content. They don't want us to have it back. They want us to have a taste of it. So we're like, what the fuck, guys? But we're going back to Titan. We're going to be with Sloane again. We're going to be underwater. We've seen some mermaid theme armor in some trailers. And you may be asking, well, what could this storyline be about? Well, we already know from this past season there is an ally, an unexpected ally, beneath the oceans of Titan. So, what can survive underwater besides a suited up Titan or hunter or warlock? Anything that's not, a guardian. Well, we've seen hive gods swimming around when we were facing off with Savathun and getting some pictures and video content of her. Now, you ask, what would we want to do with the hive god? We already know we can defeat a hive god. Why would we care what a hive god wanted to do or say? Because, if we can defeat a hive god, obviously a witness could. This story isn't about the hive god. Yes, if we can befriend or ally up with the hive god, we then have an army. We have the hive army, we have Savathun, we have anyone that we can conjure up that will take our side. Maybe even Xivu Wrath. I doubt it. I believe Xivu's 100% on the witness's side, which is why Savathun must side with us. She wanted to protect the traveler. She wanted us, if you don't remember, she wanted to keep the traveler safe, even if it meant keeping it away from us, but we were too greedy and stingy to let her do that. It's ours, we want to keep it. Every species that the traveler has helped has done the same thing. But then the traveler, did something unexpected and decided, oh, I'm going to actually try to save this species from the witness, not let it be decimated. And that's why we're here, looking for something to help take on the witness to save the traveler. Because sometimes it's not about us just being powerful. We actually have hearts and emotions and care. Some of us do. Some of you guys in trials, you guys are just ruthless. The hell. Anyways, so if we get a hive god, something hive warship, to be on our side, then it'll convince Hive to also join us on our side. Which is my theory on this is where the deep is going. You ask, why Hive though? How do you know it's Hive? Well, for instance, Titan was a Hive-controlled planet. A very, very Hive-controlled planet. And being underwater, what else is going to be underwater? I mean, there's no, there's no good hints at anything else. But that's basically what the storyline's going to be, is trying to gather allies. Now, you may be wondering, what about the dungeon then? Because a Hive God, that's a big bad. That's someone, that's someone that you want to, save for heavy endgame content. You would think, especially with the name Hive God. But as Destiny's shown in the past, dungeons aren't related to the storyline. Raids aren't related to the storyline. On several instances, the dungeons and raids made no sense at all. And this isn't the first time we've faced a Hive God outside of, the Mars storyline. That was the final boss, and then it turned into a strike. How is low-level content, endgame. So, a Hive God's not going to be an endgame type content. Or a worm god, I should say. Then, we have the pattern of dungeons. Every dungeon has one enemy type thus far. Your first dungeon was Taken based. Second dungeon was Hive. Third was Fallen. Fourth was Cabal. Fifth is Vex. The cycle is going to restart. The new cycle is going to start with Taken again. Taken can teleport. They can portal. There's different ways for Taken to get into a vessel or into a submarine or something like that while underwater. Nothing else can just do that. Maybe the Hive, that's less likely. Exotic weapon for the raid. I know. We're tired of exotic glaives. But if they don't make an exotic glaive that's in the shape of a trident for while we're underwater and getting mermaid light gear, Bungie's dev team needs fired. Anyone in the creative team, anyone that fucking pitches ideas, etc., if that is not something that happens, even a legendary glaive that's a trident, I don't care. If there's not a trident in this fucking season, fire them all. They dropped the ball. But since we're in the specs of talking about weapons, let's talk dungeon weapons. My predictions: auto rifle, scout rifle, hand cannon, shotgun, and a rocket launcher. Those are weapons we haven't really had decent, like a new in a dungeon in a solid minute. Especially the rocket launcher. I don't think we've ever had a rocket launcher other than, I think, Heretic in a dungeon. So, yeah, that come on now. Let's make a legendary rocket launcher that shoots 2 rockets, or, shoots something cool, does something cool. Dragon Breath, for instance, I don't know. The seasonal exotic, I'm expecting that to be a hand cannon. Yeah, no, I'm expecting it to be a hand cannon, because we're still missing a hand cannon we were supposed to get, from the last season. And it was plastered all over the Lightfall expansion and everything. This hand cannon doesn't exist, so hopefully they make that up for us. Legendary weapons. you're not getting much of anything that hasn't been given to us already. I'm not expecting anything, game-changing, game-breaking, etc. Seasonal weapon, that'll probably be something along the lines of that'll probably be your hand cannon right there, to be honest. Hand cannon or an auto rifle, those have been big here lately. But I don't have a whole lot more to say about it other than I can hope for what I want to hope for, but I know this season's not going to be great, especially the second season coming off of Lightfall. I need to quit going back in time. But the season after a major expansion is usually never that good, and especially coming off of an expansion that wasn't that good. Alright everyone, stay disappointed.